Hello and welcome to this channel and to another short video in the car while I'm driving. I do these because I think when I'm driving I'm very observant. I consider myself a safe driver, so it's not dangerous. So a little nugget of information that indigos and empaths and sensitives will agree with, but also if you want to become more aware about how empaths and indigos operate and work, this is another little nugget. So imagine if you will, walking into a room. Okay, walking into, let's say, a doctor's surgery or somewhere where, a dentist surgery. Most of the time, these places are quiet. Okay, people are usually sitting down, reading a magazine, reading a book on their phone or whatever it is they might be doing, and there's very little noise going on. Okay, most people, I think, can relate to something along those lines. A waiting room scenario. People are very often not chatting and talking away and such like. So, in most instances, people would go into an environment like that, realise that it's a quiet area, and they would quietly, pick up a magazine or a book or just go and sit down in a chair and wait their turn. This is basically what it's like for an empath or a sensitive or an indigo. You walk into a room like that and it's like there's 20 people talking all at the same time. That's what it's like. So if you've got a child, for instance, that's a sensitive or an indigo or an empath, it can become really, really, annoying. It's very irritating when you walk in a room and you've got 10 people all talking at the same time. That's kind of the example that I can give, the closest example I can give of what it's like being an empath or an indigo. You can pick up on all the information from people, the chatter, as it were, without people even talking. People can just be sitting down and we are picking up on the emotions and the hurt or whatever else is the thoughts, whatever else is going on. It's the feelings that we're kind of picking up on, and it takes quite a while until you get older that you begin to realise that there's something, because this is where you start thinking that there's something wrong with you, you see. And when you say something to your parents about, why can I hear all this stuff, and you get laughed at or you get jeered at or you get taken the mickey out of because, they think that you're going crazy because you can hear all this stuff or that you're picking up on this stuff. The fact that you can pick up on people lying, that's another thing. Drives people up the wall because you just know that they're lying. They're saying one thing with the mouth, but the thoughts and the feelings of that person are, something different. And it can be very confusing when you're young. And it's not until you get a little bit older that you learn to kind of switch that noise off. You begin to tone it down, you learn to kind of ignore it. And then the key thing is you then learn how you can isolate someone. So being in that room again, you can go in as an empath or an indigo and kind of listen, as it were, to the silence. But then you can maybe direct your thought or your pickup towards a certain person or a couple of people. And that's a skill that you learn as you get older, and it's one of those things. But for anyone that maybe isn't an empath or an indigo, You know, it's useful to realise that this is basically what's happening, is that there's just lots and lots of noise going on all the time. You know, passing people in the street, shopping centres, any crowd, any area where there are lots of people, it can become quite an irritation. It's like a bombardment of noise all the time. And so you learn, you know, it's very important for us to learn how to protect ourselves and how to shield ourselves, how to isolate, and you know, how to pinpoint. We learn how to pinpoint and channel the information coming into us so that we're not overloaded and bombarded by information. So anyway, little nugget. Hopefully you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video soon.